Okay. Hi. All right, we're doing this, I guess. Hi, everyone. So we're looking at the G.I. Joe Classified series, Haslab, his tank. I just acquired this bad boy, and I really want to get this guy open. Spoiler alert, I already have him open. We're just looking at the box. But looking at the box before we get started here, this artwork is stunning. I have this as my computer desktop wallpaper. No joke. I have this as my computer desktop wallpaper. I love this art. This art is so good. Yeah, I believe it's the same artist who did the Dragonfly art, which I also thought was great. It's this beautiful wraparound piece, which I will not be able to show in its entirety here because simply the fact that my recording space is not big enough. But the picture will be on screen because I do have the artwork. But this art itself is gorgeous. I love the like Mount Rushmore of Cobra that we've got here, and also it's just three of them. It's just Cobra Commander, Destro, and Baroness. There's not a fourth. Screw Midget Blood, screw Firefly, screw Storm Shadow, whatever. Just these three. That's all we need, I guess. Flipping it onto its back because I can't flip it while we're filming it because I'll knock the whole camera setup over. You have a beautiful diagram here of the HISS tank itself, which is obviously very reminiscent of the original toys, which always had a black and white, a little bit of red usually, blueprint of the HISS tank. So this is really nice to see this here. There's a whole bunch of readouts here. This new convention, the Mars Industries, projects the Cobra logo on the ground ahead of the vehicle. Yes, there is the Cobra insignia beacon, the twin disintegrator cannons. Yeah, and then it gets better because there's the Hissruptor ZX5 blasters. Come on, guys. And then, of course, how can we forget the Mal-HISS missile racks? So there are three different ways that HISS is integrated into the weapon system of this whole thing. Because of course there is. Because it's Cobra. Because of course they would. The double Diablo cannons on the top here. The all this other crap here. The Cobra convoy lights, because the rear headlights are the the rear tail lights have a Cobra logo on them. This is incredible. Push button activates interior, cockpit headlights up display, headlights, fog lights, rear Cobra convoy lights, and the Cobra insignia beacon. And then that's a whole bunch of other different languages and stuff. But good lord, is that crazy. Also, I really like the scratched out G.I. Joe logo, like they just did with spray paint. Mars, Military Armaments Research Syndicate, Cobra HISS. I like this logo, by the way. This Cobra HISS logo is really nice. 788, Mark 1, GH7C. Really cool. I would love this personally as a poster, this like blueprint layout. And obviously the Dragonfly has one as well. So I can't wait to see what the Rattler looks like as well. So, it's very cool that there are probably going to be three different versions of these, and I like that a lot. So yeah, that is the packaging for the most part. On the side of the art just continues to wrap around. And on the top it says Semper Fidelis Serpens, which I believe means forever faithful to the snake. Vaguely, roughly. It is not a perfect Latin translation because there really isn't any way to properly translate Latin and English perfectly, as far as I know. There's always going to be a little error. But that is the packaging. Let's get it open. Even though I already opened it. But don't tell anyone that. Well, hi everyone. I didn't expect to be doing this today. I didn't expect to be doing this for quite some time. But here we are. We are looking at the Haslab HISS tank. I missed out on it the very first time it came around. Finally got one myself. It was on the aftermarket, of course, but it was still mint in the box and everything. I still had all the mail and everything, and all the figures and all the accessories and everything inside of it. And I am so excited to talk about this because I have been punching myself in the chest just for missing out on this when it first came out. But now I finally got one of my own, and I love this thing. I do. It's so awesome. And I don't like to use that word a lot because it's not very descriptive or interesting or helpful when it comes to describing something in terms of a video, but it is awesome. It is legitimately incredibly awesome. And like the sheer size of it is just, it's awe-inspiring. Just pulling up the Stinger alongside it, look at that just size difference. It looks it dwarfs the Stinger, which I thought was big already. I thought this was already like a pretty big vehicle, but nope, it makes it look like a baby. And it gets better too if I pull in the Ferret, which you can't even see all of because it's so much smaller than it. It's just it's so impressive and it's so cool. It makes me so excited for the Rattler that's going to be coming out later this year. But as you can see on here, I have it in the original appearance. I have the retro style covers here. I have the retro style hood or canopy. I don't have any of the other accessories except for the turret up top here, which is all that came with the original stuff. I didn't add any of the new stuff on it yet because I want to do that on video here. But I think this, in and of itself, just looks so good, man. This also, the lights here on the bottom, they just turn on so easy. You just tap them once and they turn right on. But this just looks so good, and the sound. That sound is just, it's heavenly. Just a heavenly noise. It sounds so good. But like I don't even know where to start with this thing. So let's just start somewhere. Now, I don't have the original HISS tank, the very first version, because I was not alive when it came out, and I did not buy any of the reissues that came out over the last couple years, because I just wasn't collecting G.I. Joe at that point. But this one is really dead on to the classic, the very first release. If you just use the classic accessory pieces here, like the tread covers and the canopy cover, if you use all those ones, it's effectively the original one to a T. There's really nothing different about it outside of, more detail and of the 788 being a gradient as opposed to a flat red color. But if you don't like that, here's a sticker sheet that lets you change that, which we'll look at that in a little while. But as you can see here, it says the 788 on the side here, the whatever this is, some sort of LF car. I don't know what that means. If someone knows what that means, tell me. 3 to 63, or that means GH7C, HSS13KM6158PN-15R. Whatever that means. Cobra logo. Oh, what's very cool here is on both sides of these, there's a little step-down stool, so that way you can climb up on it safely. Don't want to get your foot caught in here. On the back here, Cobra logo, very nice canopy. Doors pop down, which we'll look at that in a little bit here. On this side, basically the exact same thing, except for these. These pop open, which means you can put the missile turret in there, which I'm not going to do right now, but we will eventually. Just looks so good, so impressive. As you can see here, if I pull it back a little bit, I have the HISS driver in the front seat. Very nice sitting in there with the seatbelt on and everything. Just looks super good. It works so well. I love this. And also, low out there. It is smaller than I thought it was going to be because I have the Dragonfly, and the Dragonfly is enormous in just length and just how long it is. This one is not nearly that big, but it is what it makes up for. What it loses in like length, it makes up for just size. This thing is chunky. This thing is huge and wide, which makes sense because it is technically a troop carrier. If we come back here and we open up the door, you can see on the inside, door comes down, and you can actually see the weapons that are stored in there, and also a jump seat in the back. Close that down like so. Very nice. So you can actually fit somebody back in there. You probably be able to fit 2 people in there, maybe a little tight fit, but you could definitely fit them in here. So I really like the classic accessories, but I really want to put on the modern ones. So let's do that real quick. And here's the HISS tank if you put all of the modern accessories on there. And I like it. I think it looks good. I personally, I don't know why, I was expecting to like this more. I think I like the original look a lot more. Just a cleaner, wider canopy without as many weapons. Because, I mean, like, look, on the top here, there's 2 miniguns, these 2 cannons, there's 6 missile pods on either side of here. There's an underbarrel turret beneath the front of the tank itself. Like, there's a lot of armament on here, but to me, it just feels a little bit excessive. I prefer, like, the simplicity of just the main top turret, and then that's it. I might keep the underbarrel gun right here. I like this a lot. I think this looks fun. But I don't know. I like the clearer canopy. I don't really like these all that much, the side turrets. I like the smaller tread covers, personally. But this still looks great. Like, this still looks super solid, and is a really good modern interpretation of the classic HISS tank, the very first one. And I think it's great. Just as a design itself, I think it stands out super, super well. And I'm trying to get in closer here to get a better look at the inside because, quite frankly, my recording space just isn't big enough. But as you can see, there are enough spaces on the interior here where you can have each of the individual HISS tank users' weapons hung up and held in this space perfectly, as well as a little space in the bottom here for an additional weapon if you have someone in here like your baronesses or whatever who needs to put their weapons somewhere else. Like I said, I'm trying to get better shots here. Looking at the canopy itself, this is the newer one, so you can lift the sides up here, get a nice shot interior of the HISS tank itself, which is really, really nice. There's a movable joystick on this side right here. He's holding it, you can move it, stand equip right there. Turning around to this side, there is a, if I can get it open there, there is a throttle here, which goes up and down, which is just really, really nice. The seat itself in here is super, super, super high quality. The red of the seat itself, the black, everything, the seat belt, the visual right here, super nice. Everything's really good. And if you turn the lights on, you can see everything on here looks really, really good. Cruise, the temperatures, all the little details, these things that mean something to the designers, but to me mean nothing. There's a radar there. That's probably a sight right there for the turret. It looks super, super good in here, and he fits in there super well. You can fit basically any figure in there, so long as they're big enough to keep their head under when the canopy goes down. Also, what's very cool is if you have the Haslab Dragonfly, you can take the blast effects from that Dragonfly and put them in the barrel of the top turret, which works super, super well. That looks really cool. Blends in there super well. And if you have the larger ones, you can peg them into the back of the side missiles because they are the exact same ones that came with the Dragonfly. So they blend in there super well. However, I will say, I think this is a common issue that people know, but these do not peg in at all. These just slip right out like nothing. They don't snap into place or anything. They're just held there by like light friction. So they will just get jostled and fall around super easy, which sucks to a degree. But again, I don't think I'm going to be using these basically ever. So they'll probably just be sitting in a box somewhere. And if you have the more regular release size blast effects, you can peg them into any of the 7 barrels, not 6, 7, on the miniguns here. So, the minigun shooting. The 6 for the sides, and then there's 1 right in the middle there. So if you want more smack dab in the middle, you can do that as well. What's cool, though, is if we pop this off, if I can even, because it is head on there very tight, you can take this cover off here and get a nice looking shot at the engine in there, which is cool. Big Mars logo right there. Very fun. You can have one of your various Joes working on it, presumably scrap iron, because that's the only guy I can think of who would be using that at that point. Also, if this video is weird, I'm going completely by ear here. I did not plan on this today. Now, we're not done yet because there are lights on this guy. There are lights. If you click the bottom here, it needs 3 AA batteries, by the way. Click the bottom here, the red lights go on. The overhead light goes on here that has the underhead, which you can kind of see puts down a Cobra logo, which is very cool. That looks really nice. Good for pictures and stuff. Do it again. Front lights come on. Do it again. High beams come on. Do it again. The Cobra logo goes off. The normal headlights go off. Everything goes off except for the red right here. The red Cobra logo comes back on. All the lights go off. And if you hold it, the headlights come on, and then the Cobra logo comes on, but it's only on for about a minute, 2 minutes or so before it goes away. And then if you tap it again, all the lights go off themselves. So if you are struggling to just go through them, just keep clicking them, just hold it and then click it again, and the lights will turn themselves off like that. I'm not even going to pretend like I went through everything on this set, on this Haslab itself, because I didn't. Because there's so much to go through. There's so much you could talk about, so much you could do with this thing. But I just really like this as a set. I think it's super, super solid. Again, sad I missed out on what I released, but I got it now, and I have the Dragonfly, and I have the Rattler coming, so I will have all of the vehicles effectively, which I'm very grateful for, and I love this set. I think it's super, super good. Dust particle flying from the camera there. I think it's super, super solid. I wish I had more room to film this on, but my recording space just straight up isn't big enough to like film this in like its entirety, like it's a big review. So I'm using one of my spare shelves here that just so happens to be black, which is just gonna have to do for now. I really like this though. I'm not gonna be doing the figures in this review because I want to give each of them their own like review or personal review. But I will show off the Cobra Commander that comes with this set. And it is, of course, the Mickey Mouse Error Cobra Commander. It is the retro card back Cobra Commander, which we have seen this figure now in the more recent line, in the more recent retro line, basically reused. And I'll be honest, looks a bit better. But this one is, of course, the mints on card, unpunched, as you can see on the top there, G.I. Joe. This is the one that on the back has a single language file card, because all the other ones have to have a multilingual one because they are going to other countries and stuff. But since this was mailed to order, they could get away with just having to be single language and everything. And also you can see the unique number of my Haslab right here, 32141. But this is so cool. I love this. You know, it has the full file card read on here. It's got a Haslab huge Cobra logo right there. I don't think I will be opening it. But if anyone wants me to, let me know, and I'll think about it. But I think for now, this will instead sit on my shelf next to this Cobra Commander, which is also just great. This is great. And they're going to look really good together side by side. So yeah, that's Cobra Commander. Again, if you want me to, let me know. I might do it, depending on if I just get the itch that I want to open this and I can't control it anymore, because I hate having my toys in boxes, man. I got to rip these things open. Now, normally I would do the usual and put this on the spinny base, but quite frankly, I think it would break the spinny base from its weight. I also wouldn't be able to rotate. It's just not wide enough. So this is the HISS tank. I love it. I think it's great. It's fantastic. It looks so good. I hope I can get the SMS, the turret attached to the back at some point, because that'd be really cool. But I love this thing. This thing is incredible. It's just so good. But before we end it off here, I gotta bring in the Dragonfly as best I can, because quite frankly, it just wouldn't be fair if I didn't. Putting it side by side, if I even can. Technical difficulties, one moment. So here he is next to the Dragonfly, or here it is rather. And as you can see, I'm kind of finagling a little bit because the shelf just isn't big enough for both of them. Fitting, I guess. But they look so good. I can't wait to take some pictures of them fighting each other. I think that's going to look great. And then you get the Rattler in there as well. There's going to be a lot of fun to be had here. So yeah, if you liked this video at all, this mess of a video, this unorganized, uncoordinated nonsense video at all, even remotely, give me a like, give me a subscribe, comment. Let me know what else you liked. If you would like me to do more G.I. Joe stuff, because I will be. I'm just gonna let you know I will be. I have plenty of G.I. Joe stuff. But if you want to see me do the reviews for the individual HISS tank figures, make sure you're subscribed, because I'll be putting those up throughout this week. So yeah, there is the Haslab HISS tank next to Haslab Dragonfly. Yo, Joe. Oh boy, I'm tired.